Hello, everyone. So today though I'm the board of Dasra, I am wearing my DSP BlackRock CSR committee hat, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why and how DSP BlackRock thought about sponsoring the Dasra Girl Power Awards, and a few lessons I think that we learned or we've all learned from being part of CSR, and something that then I would like to share with you all. So maybe a little different perspective from a lot of foundations, etc. we've heard, because I do feel CSR and CSR committees have different motivations and have different goals than what foundations have. So DSP, I'll be very honest, had a mid-sized corpus. But we have a committee of 6 people, and we wanted to see the biggest impact that our money could make. So in the beginning, when we started the committee, we decided on a few areas of concentration, which were health, education, and children and young adults. So and we also wanted our money to make the biggest impact that it could. And instead of funding specific programs and NGOs that we would then have to go out and vet and figure out, just as all the foundations before us have talked about, and that we'd have to monitor, etc. I mean, we had a team of 6. The team of 6 was not only dedicated to CSR, everyone had their jobs, and we realized that we couldn't possibly go out and do that much work and then do justice to all the money that we have. So we consulted with Dasra, and Dasra sort of official consultant, and they told us, why not we sponsor the Dasra social initiatives, where we can sponsor an NGO to the Dasra social initiative program. So just if people don't know what DSI here is, just a quick synopsis. It's a little Dasra promotion. But Dasra Social Initiative is a program where they take the social entrepreneurs in every NGO that is chosen for the program or is sponsored by someone, and they are all brought now to a 4-week training program over 4 weeks throughout the year, and it's not all at once. And at the end of the program, through the program, they're taught about leadership, they're taught about how to be more efficient, they're taught about admin, they're just taught how to be more professional and how to present themselves better. And so at the end of this program, they are showcased to a whole bunch of funds and other foundations that are that could be interested in the area. And of course, depending on what they do, they are funded. So DSP then did fund 1 or 2 DSI programs, or 2 or 3 entrepreneurs into the DSI program. But when Dasra came to us and they talked about the Girl Power Awards, we jumped at the opportunity, because the Girl Power Awards had education, because we're educating NGOs. It had health, because there was a huge focus on health and adolescent girl health. And it focused on the sector that we wanted to focus on, which was young adults and children. So we were very, very excited to fund this. And I personally actually went to Alibag, where they had the 17 NGOs all together there. And these 17 NGOs were divided into life skills, education, and health. And what they did is they were trained over 4 days, and they actually talked to each other and learned from each other. And at the end, they were trained on how to speak and how to present in front of funders. So at the end, we had 6 NGOs in each sector, and I was privileged to be a judge for the health panel. And we each chose one NGO that we thought was deserving within that panel. And I mean, they were all really, really, really fantastic, I have to say. The NGO that won then was awarded a funding by Kiowa Trust. And so on the back of what DSP gave, we enabled them to get much more money from Kiowa Trust. And we allowed them to be vetted. And also this allowed Dasra to get to know them better. So I think that's the sort of value that DSP added. And I think and now just to take away from all this, from our experience on the DSP BlackRock CSR committee, I'd like to just take a few points that I'd like to share with you that I think are our learnings. And one thing I'd like to say, the first thing I'd like to talk about is, if you are sitting in a CSR committee, remember you're not a foundation, you're not even a grand philanthropist. You know, you have to be aware of what your budget is. And you have to look at your budget and be honest about how far it can go and what is the best impact it can make. So think about it, please. I would also then I would make my goals, and I would put, as we put in DSP BlackRock, about what our goals are, you know, which areas we'd like to focus on. So, so that you don't spread yourself too thin, because that's another thing that's very easy to do, that you end up funding every NGO that comes to you. I would also urge you all to share ideas with other CSRs and attend meetings such as these or other meetings that I'm sure that will happen as this area evolves over the years. And I would urge you all to go, and I urge you all to talk to colleagues and share notes and stories. I would also have you, in your budget, decide how much you'll allocate to each of the sectors that you've said you're going to allocate to before time. So then you're not, because, you know, emotions can easily sway you. So if you decide that you want to be in education and you want to be in health, but, you know, there are many more health NGOs that you happen to see, you're not going to make an effort to go to the education NGOs. And then you won't fulfill your goal. So if you have a budget, you'll know how much you're spending in that, and next year maybe you can look at other NGOs. Last but not least, I mean, I would urge you to talk to experts, because this is a new field in India. It's going to become really, really, really big, given what the government has mandated. So I would urge you to go to the experts and talk to them and maybe get some advice, because again, we are not the experts in this, and you have to realize that. DSP BlackRock realized that we are not the experts in this field. We don't have time to go sort out other NGOs. We don't have time to monitor them. There are lots of other things going on, and try to see where your money can go the furthest as a result. That's all I'd like to say. Thank you.